here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's happening. It's happening.
I just watched the South Park episode last night where they talk about Bill Belichick cheating, but the first time, dude, it was so funny. They're like, if you're black and you get caught, it's called cheating. If you're white and you get caught, it's called being savvy. That shit is so funny. Dude, South Park is so funny. My buddy just became the linebackers coach at high school down here.
Oh, sick, dude. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yep. So is he gonna bring you on the staff or what? Are you gonna
And, it's funny because literally he just started this week, and every day after practice we're like breaking shit down together. It's been a lot of fun.
That's cool, man. Yeah. I mean, have you ever thought about trying to get into coaching?
Yeah, I've thought about it. The thing is I'm more of I'm more of an X's and O's kind of guy. And I would have because I didn't play football very long. I only played football for 4 years. And I wouldn't be able to be like a great positions coach.
Right.
Like I would want to coach. I could coach O-line or D-line. D-line's not overly complicated. But yeah, you have to start as a positions coach. Like you have to work your way up. But what would be very interesting to me would be like an offensive coordinator. That's my thing that I'm really interested in.
Yeah. What about scouting?
Yeah, scouting is very fun as well. But again, the same thing. You have to like get into coaching. Basically, you have to be like trusted. You have to be a grad assistant and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's still time. You're young.
Yeah, it's just like I have so much time on my hands with comedy and my 40-hour-a-week job. You know,
you got to quit one of those things. I'm not going to tell you which one. I'll let you figure that out. You know which one I think you should quit.
Just quit.
Yeah, quit your job. That's what I'm going to tell you to do.
I would love to quit my job.
I know. All right.
I say we all do it. Just go full on into comedy.
Bro, if Fantasy TE can pay me 12 G's a month, I'm down.
All right.
Oh, we can do it. Make it happen.
We're gonna make it happen.
We need a sponsor.
We do need a sponsor. We need more followers first before we get a sponsor, but we're working on that shit. Welcome back to Fantasy TE. If anybody is watching live, or if you're thinking about watching live next time, when you watch us live on YouTube, our YouTube channel, you can write in comments, questions, and whatever else you want. Bragging, you can talk shit. You have the whole platform is yours. If we like what you're saying or asking, we'll answer your questions. We'll try to give you good advice most of the time. All right. My name is Nick Masick. We also have Lonnie Cox and Vital DeJuiced. Welcome back, guys. This is
Good
our
to be here.
Yeah, this is our kickoff preview. We are excited. We got less than a week before the Rams and the Bills. So we're doing an impromptu Friday night show, but normally going forward, we're going to be on Monday nights, right before the Monday night football game. And so we'll wrap up. Basically what we do, we wrap up the previous week and then we get you prepped for the next week and also talk a little bit about the Monday night game. But for tonight, we're going to talk preseason picks. We got our big contest that we're going to lay out all of our preseason picks for, and little bit of some news, and get ready for the kickoff, Bills Rams. So, did you guys have any more drafts since last time we met? No, nothing else. I got one tonight after the show, and I got another one on this coming Monday. So I got 2 more drafts.
3?
I'm in 4 leagues this year. Same as last year. All the same leagues, actually, with not a whole lot of turnover either. So looking forward to that one. All right. So a little bit before we get into our stuff, let's talk news. Sony Michel picked up by the Chargers. You saw we were talking about him getting cut by the Dolphins last week, which kind of cleared things up. It seems like a little bit in the Dolphins backfield, maybe. You're not sold though on Chase Edmonds, Vital. You think Mostert might take over the backfield, huh?
I'm just not sold on Edmund. I don't know who's going to take over the backfield. I'm just not sold on anyone, honestly.
Yeah, it's one of those.
I don't think it's as decided as you think.
No, I mean, it's not. I didn't take it's not like I went Chase Edmonds real high. Like, I know there's a risk involved. That was a pretty low. He's like 6th round or whatever. I am looking at maybe grabbing Mostert with my last pick tonight, I think, especially if I end up with Edmonds, just because Mostert's one of those speedsters. But Sony Michel to the Chargers. Lonnie, do you feel any threat towards Austin Eckler's usage with Sony Michel? You think he's just an insurance option?
Correct. If he even makes the squad, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I think they signed him to the 53 man. But that happens. Like, they're probably just seeing what he can do. If he can produce, he'll produce. But he's not going to cut into Eckler's playing time at all. If anything, he's a third option. I think he's actually an insurance option. But he's one of those like third option guys who I think if the first guy goes out, he'll be the first option. You know how that happens with like a leapfrog sometimes situation, because he's one of those guys who can carry the load, like he's pretty durable. And sometimes that change of pace back that they would have doesn't ascend immediately into the lead role in those circumstances. So, but yeah, I think that's kind of what he's going to be. This is an interesting one. Laviska Shenault traded to the Panthers for some draft capital. So do we think Laviska Shenault hurts any of the Panthers players in terms of target share, usage? Who's he going to cut into the most? DJ Moore or Christian McCaffrey? Or Robbie Anderson, I guess. What do you think?
I think it's a good trade because Christian McCaffrey is definitely getting hurt again. So
I heard he tore his ACL on the way to our fantasy draft tonight.
It's just gonna happen.
So, yeah. I think Laviska Shenault cuts a little bit into both of them, honestly. I think he cuts into McCaffrey's usage because he is one of those slash guys. Like they use him out of the backfield, they use him out of the slot. But he'll like run routes out of the backfield and even get some carries usually, or at least that's how they used him. That's how he was deployed in Jacksonville. I think he cuts in a DJ Moore a little bit too, maybe a little bit of his volume as well. So I don't know if necessarily he's on the fantasy radar, but he was as a rookie. Did either of you guys ever roster Shenault in any of the leagues? No,
not that I remember.
He was rostered, I think, all last year, and definitely his rookie year, he saw a fair bit of usage. Here's another one. Jalen Reagor got traded to the Vikings.
All that.
Is this significant? I mean, he was like on the bubble in Philly, but the Vikings don't have a ton of depth at receiver. Do you think he's going to be a third option there? Is he going to push out, what's his name? KJ Osborne, potentially.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Again, like, it's going to be a third option, but not to the point where it like affects their points, I think.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is he going to be, could he be relevant, do you think, at any point fantasy wise this year?
Yeah, I think he'll be relevant. Yeah.
Reagor,
sure.
Yeah. He's a former first round pick. He's got a ton of speed. He just never like kind of really took over in Philly the way they were hoping. Remember, he was the guy who was drafted right after Justin Jefferson.
Correct.
Which is interesting because now they're on the same team.
Well, I thought it was right before Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It was just right before. Right. That was always the thing in Philly. They're like, we could have had Jefferson.
Really can't pick for shit, man.
Yeah, they fucked up a bunch of times.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not a great track record. So as Jalen Reagor like walking into the locker room, like you think Jefferson still got a chip on his shoulder about that shit?
Sure, but now you're looking at a pretty stacked receiving core for the Vikings with a pretty decent quarterback.
Yep.
Who's there? Kirk Cousins?
Yep. Kirk Cousins, yeah.
Okay.
Do you think Reagor can push Thielen at all for second on that team for number 2? Thielen's had some injury issues as well.
Yeah, but Thielen was kind of at one time before Cooper Kupp's rise to the top. We were talking about him like Cooper Kupp. We were really talking about him as this sure thing, hands receiver, was going to monster you and going to get you a couple great games a season. Like he was a very, very highly touted fantasy pick not that long ago. So I would expect to see some flashes of him coming back. If he's healthy, he's one of the top 15, 20 receivers in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. 2 years ago, I had him on my dynasty team.
Yes.
I ended up trading him away, but he was great that year. He gave me a bunch of 20-point games. He's a touchdown machine, or he has historically been just like he knows how to find the hole to give Cousins a pocket to throw to. Like he's just so good at getting in the end zone. But he's getting older. I think he might have hit 30 this year, 29 or 30, I want to say.
It's not old, man. That's peak.
It's getting there.
I don't think you're old till 33 unless you're a running back or something.
As a receiver, really 33? I don't know, man. Julio's
Yeah.
33 and he looked like he fell off a cliff. Julio. But we're going to find out more. I guess we're going to find out about Julio this year too. But so I don't know. I think Rager might, by the end of the season, I think we could potentially see him pushing for that number 2 spot on the roster. Maybe. They need speed. I mean, I know I respect Thielen. I think he's great. They might move Thielen into the slot. He might be more effective in the slot and with Rager wide out. Just a little bit more speed on the outside to draw more coverage away from Jefferson. It'll be interesting to see how they use him. And if he can kind of, not that 2 years in, I wouldn't say he's a bust, but if he can kind of, rejuvenate his career or whatever, kickstart his young career. Here's another one. Kenyon Drake got cut and signed by the Ravens. Cut by the Raiders, signed by the Ravens. Ravens backfield, kind of a mess again. Dobbins, not 100% yet. I don't know.
He got hurt again, right?
Yeah, it's not super serious.
He tweaked something in camp, but
yeah, but he's
he
not
was downplaying it.
Yeah, he's not all the way back anyway, though. They weren't like, oh, he's a full go. Like he's still recovering from the injury last year. Does that give Kenyon Drake more value? I mean, are you guys? Would you think about Drake now potentially? I guess it remains to be seen how they deploy him, but like, I don't know. I feel like he's still got some tread on the tires. Would you look at him as maybe a backup? No.
I don't think so.
Latavius Murray last year was a solid pickup, right? I mean, whoever that running back was for the Ravens team was a solid pickup.
Yeah, whoever started for the Ravens was good. They were running offense. That's that whole. I mean, yeah, of course. What's his name's going to run it a fair bit. Their quarterback, that guy. But yeah, whoever is going to get the carries in that offense is going to do pretty well. So. Also kind of clears up the Raiders backfield, which you must feel good about, Lonnie, with your second best running back being Josh Jacobs.
Listen, you got to stand up for yourself sometimes. All right. It's not always about, sometimes, you gotta be the best. Okay? You make it.
I heard Jerick McKinnon's going to get all of the passing work in Kansas City, so I don't think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be as valuable either. That's all right, man. You got the rest of your team's pretty solid. Don't worry about your running backs. They don't score much anyway. What else? Marlon Mack got cut by the Texans. I don't think he's gotten picked up anywhere yet. But what that really does is that boosts, like everybody now knows for sure that Dameon Pierce, is it Damien or Damon Pierce, the Texans rookie? He's going to be the guy. That's what they're basically saying, that he's the guy. Did either of you guys draft him? I forget. I know you didn't.
Oh, I think Steve has him.
That's going to be probably a really good value pickup. Just Steve throwing darts blindly at a fucking wall. Just happened to land on the guy. This is another interesting one. Trey Sermon got cut by the 49ers. You guys see that? This after his rookie year. And Trey Sermon was that guy we thought last year. Trey Sermon, we were talking about him the way we were talking about Dameon Pierce now in Houston. Last year, everybody thought Trey Sermon was going to take over the 49ers backfield and be the guy. Elijah Mitchell took over. Trey Sermon straight up cut. It's crazy. Third round pick.
Let's not forget that Trey Sermon really only had 3 games in college where he was good. Trey Sermon was he was kind of a flash in the pan, even at Ohio State. He had 3 big games kind of on the national level. Mm-hmm. I think what really brought him to prominence was he went off against trying to remember who Ohio State played in the college football playoff, but he had 220 yards in one game, and that really kind of brought him to the national prominence. But nobody was talking about him before that, and then nobody really talked about him after. It kind of rocketed his draft status. But he was one of those guys that you're like, listen, he's either going to be really good or not very good at all, So we saw.
Yeah. That's still, it's only a year. And I believe Elijah Mitchell beat him out primarily because of speed. Mitchell's just fucking blazing fast.
Yeah, they love those real fast running backs over at
sure. So so I don't know. I guess 1 year in the league, it's not like he's done for good. There's plenty of guys who have moved on and then found a home later on.
Yeah, but I just Trey Sermon was really, really a victim of national broadcasts in college. Like he had a couple of games and he overshot his value.
Right. So clearly, 3rd round draft pick. That's tough to swallow. Yeah. This is one.
Not like Alex Leatherwood, though.
No, dude, Alex Leatherwood. I mean, he got picked up though. So who signed him? Chicago signed him. Good. Yeah, they need more bad players. That's exactly what Chicago. More players with poor work ethic to protect. Who knows, man? You got to root for a guy to try to. I don't know. He wasn't like a locker room issue guy. He just never materialized into.
No, supposedly he was just getting beat by 6th round offensive linemen in camp.
Yeah,
just very little effort.
Yeah, that's not great.
What I read.
All right, so Russ Wilson got paid. 5-year deal with Denver, $245 million, I think it was, or something. It was big.
Something like
big
that,
contract. Yeah, one of those, another just giant contract. So this locks up Russ for 5 years in Denver, assuming he plays out the entire contract. That whole division just looks like it's going to be loaded for 5 years. That like we can say like the next 5 years. That division is just going to be brutal. Like
it's crazy. Like when we were doing our picks, I was looking at it and I was like, man, this is the best division in football right now.
Yeah, it is. I had such a hard time at one point, and we'll go through it. At one point, I had the Chiefs finishing last, and I'm like, wait a minute, that can't be right. But I was like, it could happen. It could happen. I legitimately believe the Chiefs could finish last and still make the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. Also, like both of those scenarios, totally feasible in that division. Dude, they could get swept in division and go 10-6, it's so that division, I mean, every one of those games, those divisional matchups is going to be must-see TV. Yeah. Well, I can't wait. But also means, Russ is going to be acting corny and being annoying the shit out of everybody. I feel like it kind of fits in Denver though. Like Seattle and Denver are both those kind of places where they're like, hey, we like corny Russ,
Right.
Okay.
He'll fit in there. It'll be all right.
It's been a while since they've had a franchise QB,
it hasn't been that long, man. They had Peyton Manning,
Yeah,
they had Peyton Manning for
a long time ago, though. That was 10 years ago.
Peyton Manning was 10 years ago?
8 years ago. It was not that long. I mean,
and that was brief.
Dude, they won the Super Bowl in 15. 7 years
2015.
ago.
But what's that? That's 7 years ago.
Yeah, but they had him the year after that too, though. Didn't they go to another? No.
The Super Bowl was.
That was it. You're right.
His last season, and he was not himself that Super Bowl.
No. He wasn't even the MVP. It was what's his name?
Vaughn.
Yeah. God, that was the worst Super Bowl. That was the worst Super Bowl. Like people say
the worst Super Bowl was Rams Patriots.
Bullshit.
That was the worst Super Bowl.
At least the thing is, at least in the Rams Patriots, it was like you knew something was gonna give. It was like there was tension in that Super Bowl. Yeah, there was like no score, but you were like, ooh, what's gonna happen? Dude, the Carolina Denver game from the start, I was like, this is fucking this is so bad. All right, and then the last little bit of news that I found, Derrick Henry got a raise. $2 million to make him the highest paid running back this year. What does that mean to you in terms of this year and fantasy and usage? Anything? Like, we're just going to give you an extra $2 million.
What it means to me is I would not have a high hopes for Derrick Henry this year.
No?
When you pay a running back, you are almost guaranteed to watch his production fall off.
You're right, and I normally agree with you, but that's usually you see that more with like the big long-term contracts.
That's true.
Derrick Henry, they just gave
what they did is they just restructured his contract, right? They didn't re-sign him. They just restructured it.
Yeah. They didn't give him a long-term big deal. They just gave him like an extra $2 million for this year. So I actually think it's the opposite in this one instance. Normally I agree with you, but in this one instance, they're like, we're gonna give you a little bump just a little extra, like, yeah, we think you're the best in the league. Go show us again, you know? But it's not a long-term deal. So, because those long-term deals, that's when you see like, dude, like running backs just tank. So yeah, I don't know. I think it was more like a thank you, and we're gonna run the shit out of you. Like
Correct.
I think it's gonna be his usage. That's what I think.
But when is his workload going to catch up to him? I mean, he already missed 10 games last year. I mean, he
broken
can't,
foot.
You know, like
it might be this year. I'm hoping it's not, because I'm using him as my keeper in my cousin's league. My first round pick. It's either that I have the 11th pick. So I'm like, and it's like a half, or it's not even a half PPR league. It's like I gotta keep Henry if you can get Henry at the 11th pick, you keep him, you know. But yeah, I'm a little nervous. His usage is definitely going up, and he's like, I think after this year we'll start to see it go down, but I think they're still gonna run him hard this year. All right, what else we got? Let's see. All right, should we get into our preseason predictions? Oh boy, I'm excited. All right. So for all the viewers, anybody who's watched us before or followed us in the past, if you've ever seen or even just seen images of Lonnie with stuff on his belly, this is how it happens. 2 years in a row, we do so first we do a contest throughout the year where we pick the worst quarterback of the week. We play DraftKings for each Monday night game, and also like the special ones. We're going to do a Thursday night DraftKings, and we pick preseason. So this year we've added to our preseason. We're doing, let's see, where is everything? We're starting with all the awards: MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. And this year I'm adding in Comeback Player of the Year, because that's also one of the major awards that we can pick, which is fun. And last year we picked division winners, championship rounds, Super Bowl teams, and Super Bowl winner. This year we're picking full division standings. Every spot is worth something. The division winner is worth 2 points. The rest of the standings are worth 1 point each if we get them correct. Had a tough time. We were talking about the NFC West, especially. That's just a jumble. It's almost worth like drawing names out of a hat in that division to see who comes out on top. But shall we start with MVP? The beginning, the biggest award, arguably individual award in sports, one of them at least. Who you guys got for MVP this year?
All right. I'm going to go with Tua Tagovailoa. No, I'm kidding, Josh Allen.
I wish you would. Who you got for real?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Okay. Pretty solid. Lonnie?
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. I thought hard about it. I thought about Josh Allen, but I'm going with Justin Herbert. Okay. And the reason I'm going with Justin Herbert is because I also picked the Chargers to win that division. And I think whoever wins that division is definitely whichever quarterback. It's about winning when it comes to MVP and quarterbacks. Running backs can win MVP just by having like prolific seasons. Receivers, it's been a while. Defensive players, I don't remember the last time. Was it Lawrence Taylor? So usually quarterbacks, it's got to be, you have to win games and put up the numbers. And I think if Herbert wins that division, they'll give him the nod. So I went Justin Herbert. All right. How about defensive player of the year? Vital, you want to go first?
Yeah, I went with Myles Garrett.
I like Myles Garrett. I thought about him. Lonnie, who'd you go with?
Micah.
I figured you were going to go Micah Parsons. He's a popular pick this year, and rightly so. I think overall their defense struggling though is going to hurt his chances a little bit. But all the players that are kind of in the mix for defensive player of the year, with the exception of maybe Aaron Donald, are going to be on, I think, kind of questionable defenses. I went with TJ Watt. Just production through the roof. I think his team
back to back.
Yeah, I think he's going to win it again. Yep.
Okay.
the reigning defensive player of the year. I think he's going to take it down. There's a lot of interesting picks though. Joey Bosa was a guy who I saw get some votes. I like Myles Garrett as a pick. I would have probably considered him, oddly enough, if Deshaun Watson was playing all year, or at least more of the games. I think having a strong offensive side of the ball would benefit Garrett more. Having a team that can keep him off the field so that when he's on the field, he can dominate more,
I thought the opposite. I think he's just going to get a lot of chances to stun out there being on defense a lot.
Yeah.
I just think he's going to get more chances at plays and things.
That's a fair point. All those guys I could see winning. So we all went different directions on that one. Offensive player of the year. A lot of times this is also the MVP, but not always. Who'd you got? Who you guys got?
I took a running back, Jonathan Taylor. I want to see him do good. I think he can put up some points.
Yeah, nice. Lonnie?
I went with Jamar Chase.
Interesting.
I figured like this one, I was between Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, Jamar Chase. I figured you two would pick one of those two. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with my third kind of somebody I see. Does he make a sophomore slump this year? Does the defense change with him? I don't know. But I'm looking for him. I'm looking for we'll see later, but I also picked the Bengals to win that division. So I'm thinking Jamar Chase is going to be kind of at the top of our conversations.
That's a good pick. I like it. I went with Christian McCaffrey. And obviously I'm betting on him to be fully healthy all season, which is clearly a risk. But if he is healthy all season with a better quarterback play, I think he could have easily been MVP or offensive player of the year had he been healthy, on track last year. Fun stat that I read, I don't know if I mentioned this last podcast. McCaffrey last year was 15th in receptions for all running backs last year, and he only played 4 games. That's what I thought. Like, when he's on the field, he is incredibly dominant. I don't think he'll be an MVP because I don't think their team's going to win enough games. But I think he might even be in the MVP. If he's healthy all season, he'll be in the MVP conversation. I bet they'll give him the offensive player of the year almost as a consolation prize. They sometimes do that with the guy who's like an MVP runner-up, right? I think, did that happen to Derrick Henry? Did he get an offensive player of the year? He was potentially a MVP candidate. All right, so that's interesting. All different on that one. Defensive rookie of the year. I feel like this one's going to be consensus, just like last year. Who you got, Vital?
What's his name? Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, what's his name? The guy who we all picked. Lonnie?
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson. Number 1 overall pick, Detroit Lions, edge rusher. I don't think he's going to be quite on the level of Micah Parsons last year, but I think he's going to have a
different player, different style.
Right. But he's going to be really good. And I mean, it seems, I don't even know who else will be in the conversation, but it seems like he's going to be
Sauce Gardner, somebody like that. But
sure. Yeah. That's a good point. A shutdown corner who steps up and is like a Marshawn Lattimore. Did he win defensive rookie of the year?
I believe he did. I'm not 100% sure.
I think he did. So yeah, if Sauce Gardner throws out one of those rookie seasons, he could totally take over. But he's going to have like a shitload of picks or something, and be like a shutdown guy.
Yeah, the league is changing, man. What people vote for is usually the flashy stuff.
Right. Yeah, like Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not a very good corner, but he's a great corner. He's great at making turnovers, but he's not very good in coverage.
But that's part of that. Yeah. But it's funny because some coaches feel exactly that way. They would rather have the guy that gets the ball.
Sure. Yeah. Like give up a couple big ones, but get the ball back sometimes.
Correct.
Yeah. Those are always they're always the more fun corners, to watch. He's exciting. All right. And offensive rookie of the year. This one, we had a lot of options, a lot of choices here. I feel like. Who'd you go with, Vital?
I picked him up at another team. I think he's going to do really well. Drake London.
Lonnie?
Arguably one of the most exciting wide receivers in college football last year, Chris Olave. Very excited for him. I think we're going to see big things from him this year.
Yeah. I was on the fence between those two guys also. I ended up going with Drake London only because I think I think Olave is going to be really good, but I think London's going to get a bigger target share. And because of that, I think he's going to have bigger numbers, more impressive numbers overall on a worse team in a worse situation. But like Olave is going to be competing with, Jarvis Landry and potentially probably Michael Thomas. So he might end up being the third option. You still don't think Michael Thomas is ever going to play again, which is hilarious, dude. I think it's so funny. But yeah, that's why I went with Drake London, because I think he's just going to be, and he's going to be the guy, him and Kyle Pitts are probably 1 and 2, whereas Olave could be 3. He could be 1 still in that offense, but he might be 3 also. And Alvin Kamara, you've got a running back who's going to eat up a ton of targets. So, all right. And then comeback player of the year. This one's going to be fun. This one's interesting. Who do you got, Vital?
I just see big things for him now. He's on a new team. Him and I share a nickname. Give it up for Jarvis Landry.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't see him as being a candidate, but yeah, he didn't have much going on last year. Lonnie, who you got?
Same team, famous Jameis.
Oh,
I think you're looking at a big year from him. Let's see.
Yeah, I thought about Jameis as well.
But you obviously going to go with Christian.
Yeah, I have to, because if he's the offensive player of the year, he's also has to be the comeback player of the year. No question about it. I did think about hedging my bets. I did think about obviously Michael Thomas, who I think is gonna be right in there. It would have been really funny if we all picked Saints as comeback player of the year, 3 different Saints. But no, yeah, I went with McCaffrey to sweep those 2 awards. All right. Now that's interesting. We got a lot of differentiation. I figured we all be on Hutchinson. You guys are on the same. You guys are both on Josh Allen for MVP. Me and Vital both on Drake London for offensive player of the year. Everything else is different.
Some overlap.
Yeah. A little bit of overlap. I figured there'd be just a little bit, but not a lot. All right, let's get to the division winners, or the divisions overall. I think a lot of these are going to be the same, but I went out on a limb on a couple of them. Couple teams I think are going to make a little bit of noise. There's always a couple surprise teams every year, and I was like, if you really want to nail this, you got to pick those surprise teams, right?
Correct.
Pick the teams that are going to be they're going to take a step forward. So let's start with the AFC East. Betting we're all on the same page here. First place, AFC East. Who you got?
The Miami Dolphins. This is our year, and I'm putting my stomach on it.
Are you really? Yeah, you are. Although I think you're probably going to get more of a back tattoo, but so you're actually taking the Dolphins to knock off the Bills first place. All right. I like it. I like the ballsy pick. I also like the fact that you're going to lose to us on it. Lonnie?
Are we doing all? We're just going to do all 4, or just number 1?
Let's do number 1, and then we'll do. Oh yeah, sure. We'll do the whole standings. Yeah.
We'll do. All right. Next, I have the Dolphins first, Bills next, Patriots coming in third, and Jets bringing up the caboose.
Okay.
All right. Same. I mean, I'm exactly the same. Just flip the Dolphins and the Bills. Bills, Dolphins, Pats, Jets.
Yeah, me too. I'm with Lonnie. Bills, Dolphins, Pats, Jets. This is one of the few divisions I didn't have a hard time with. I was like, this looks pretty straightforward to me, I think.
And that's the first one you're gonna bust on.
Okay, we'll see about that. All right, AFC North. This one was a little bit tricky. I waffled a little bit on this one. Vital, you want to go first again?
Yeah, I flip back and forth. This is hard, but I think he's gonna have a comeback here. Lamar Jackson's gonna lead the Ravens to coming in first, then Bengals, Browns, Steelers.
I had the exact same thing as Vital. Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers. Lonnie?
That was a hard one for me as well. I think Lamar is pissed off. This is his contract year. But I think the Bengals short up on defense. They've got the best receiving corner in the NFL, an elite running back, an elite quarterback. Picking them to win the division. Bengals, Ravens, Browns, Steelers.
That's what I had initially. It was so close. Bengals, Ravens are going to be some great games this year. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if we see them play 3 times, one more time in the playoffs. All right, AFC South. This one's interesting. Couple teams. This is a very difficult to pick. I actually only think one of these teams is going to the playoffs. Do you want to switch it up, Lonnie? You want to go first on this round?
Sure. The looks like the Titans have they're slightly in like a little bit of a rebuild mode. I don't really understand what's going on with them. For that reason, I'm actually going to pick the Colts to win this division. So let's do Colts Titans. This one I actually had trouble finding out who was going to be at the worst with this division, but I think Trevor Lawrence picks it up. Travis Etienne's coming back. So Colts, Titans, Jags, Texans.
Okay. All right. I also have the Colts going first. I think Matt Ryan's going to really kind of help steer them in the right direction. Maybe even make some noise in the playoffs. They're a dark horse Super Bowl team. I actually have the Jags making a bigger leap forward. I have the Jags leapfrogging the Titans. I don't know. I feel like the Titans are in kind of a weird mixed up situation. I don't think they're going to be terrible, but they had a lot of really bad games last year even. And at some point, if they seem like they're maybe not really in it, I feel like they might bring in that new quarterback, the rookie quarterback, and kind of see what they've got with him. So that might really hurt their record.
No. That guy's not playing.
You don't think so?
From Liberty. What's his name? Malik Jackson? No, he's not touching the field.
You don't think so?
No. I don't think Mike Vrabel wants him on the field at all. Mike Vrabel was very upset with his style of play. That does not fit their style. You can tell that is a GM head coach kind of headbutting thing.
Usually the GM
Willis.
Yeah, Malik Willis, I think. Yeah. Well, anyway, I think the Jaguars take a big step forward this year, though. And I think they're going to be second. Then I got the Titans and then the Texans. What about you, Vital? What you got?
My picks mirror Lonnie's, but I actually had the same problem you did, picking between the Titans and the Jaguars. I was going back and forth. I mean, the Jaguars have had, 2 number round picks in a row, right? First round picks. That's pretty. They should take a step forward, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. I think Derrick Henry's going to hold it down.
The Jaguars also made a ton of free agent moves on offense, especially. So, and then they got that stud on the D line, Josh Allen.
Josh
Allen's a linebacker.
That Buffalo game was crazy.
But they got the guy from Georgia.
Oh, they drafted a guy from. That's right. Okay, so. Yeah, I think their defense is going to be better. They're going to give people more problems. I think their offense is going to be really kind of tough to stop. It's all going to be on Lawrence, though. But I like their coaching change. Actually, had more to do with my pick than anything else.
I like your pick. I could see it going either way.
Yeah. I kind of was on the fence as well. All right. Now this is the tough one, man. AFC West. You want to go first again, Lonnie? Who you got? AFC West.
Sure. I'm taking the Chargers to win this division.
Oh, you too. Okay.
Chargers, Chiefs. Then again, this is where it got difficult. But I think the Broncos are going to take a step up. Raiders are going to take a step back. Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders.
Okay. I was almost there with you. I flip-flopped so many times. I shuffled this standings around a bunch of times. I went Chargers first, Chiefs second. So hard to beat Mahomes, even if they don't have the team that he did last year. It's so tough to beat him. But Chargers first, Chiefs second. I actually have Raiders third. I had the Raiders as high as second in this division at one point. I just think they have so much talent. And I think they're going to be tougher mentally this year because of last year. They almost beat the Bengals in the playoffs last year. They were very close to beating the Bengals. I think they're going to be mentally tougher. They're going to be ready to make, win tough games. I picked them to come in third in the division, but I also think they're going to make the playoffs. Broncos, they're going to be right there, but I don't know. You have to pick somebody to lose this division, right? I don't know. It's so tough. Who you got, Vital?
We all picked different because I had the Chiefs taking it.
Okay.
Chargers, Broncos, Raiders.
Okay. You guys both think the Raiders are going to finish last in the division, huh?
That's hard. That could go either way. I just think that between Jerry Jeudy and then Russell Wilson, and then they picked up who else they have? I think they're going to have enough to get past the Raiders. I don't know.
Dude, Devontae Adams. Healthy.
Yeah, but Devontae Adams can't do it himself. I'm sure he's going to get points himself, but the team, I don't think the team's going to win.
I don't know, man. He's been doing it himself for a long time. I don't think he has a problem with doing it himself. He's got Darren Waller too, man. You always have to double cover Darren
and
Waller.
Hunter Renfrow.
And Hunter Renfrow, fuck yeah. Hunter Renfrow's a stud, dude. But you can't
No,
see
it's a great division. That's the best division in football right now, hands down.
I think they're going to be all really
Not
tough.
even close, to be honest.
I think the Chargers, their defense steps up. That's why I picked them to win. Chargers offense has been just explosive already. Herbert's going to keep getting better, but I think their defense, they added Khalil Mack, who's not what he once was, but I think he's still something. All right. Yeah, that division though, man, it's good. I could see anyone finishing anywhere in that division. It's just such a toss-up. Okay, let's get to the NFC East. Do you want to kick us off, Lonnie? Who you got?
Yeah, just
winning?
give it to me already. God damn it. I'm sorry, but the Eagles are going to win this division.
Yes, he said it out loud.
The Eagles are going to win this division. They shored up their defense. They added A.J. Brown. The Cowboys lost Amari Cooper. They lost Cedric Wilson. Michael Gallup's hurt. Ezekiel Elliott is a shell of himself. You lost Tyron Smith. Still much better team than the Commanders and the Giants. So that's going to be my order. I'm going Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, Giants.
Yep. I agree with you on all counts, except Elliott's, I don't know if he's a shell of himself. He might be more like an enlarged version.
Yeah.
Well, more like a blow up doll of himself.
Maybe he's a taco shell of himself.
Whatever it is, yeah. A gordita of himself. All right. So Vital. So I'm with Lonnie on that. Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, Giants. I didn't really.
We got a hat trick, man. All three of us, same.
Okay. That one doesn't surprise me. All right, I'll take the lead on the next one. NFC North. This one I actually had a little bit of doubt on. I went Packers, but I don't think they're going to dominate the division like they have in years past. Second, I took the Lions to take a step forward. As much step forward as Vikings step back. I think they'll be maybe split by a game. I just feel like the Lions were really close on a lot of games last year, and I love their head coach. I think he's really tough. I think he's like putting, like really breeding toughness into his team. And I think they added some skill players too. I think Swift takes a big step forward, and he was already great. I think he's going to be dominant. I think he's the next Kamara. So I got Packers, Lions, Vikings, Bears. Vital, you want to go next? We got.
Yeah, I've got a little opposite. Packers, Vikings, Detroit, Chicago, Bears. Yeah.
Okay. Lonnie?
Actually picking Minnesota to win this division.
Ooh, wow.
I'm going to take the Vikings to win. Vikings, Packers, Lions, Bears.
Okay. You feel good about the Vikings defense? Defense.
I mean, what I feel is the Vikings offense is going to be dominant this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the Vikings defense is going to hang around in a lot of games, which is all you'll need. I think you're looking at a Vikings team that's going to average 28 points a game. So if they can do that, they're going to be a premier offense this year. Mm-hmm. If they can do that, you don't really need an elite defense if your offense is scoring like that. So, I mean, that's how the Packers have been built for 10 years. So I think you're going to see the Vikings kind of sneakily win a lot of games this year.
Okay. See, I think of the Vikings being more like the Chargers of recent years. Great offense, still losing in close games because of that defense.
Sure.
I think they'll be in a lot of close games, but I think they're going to be on the wrong end of a few of those, just not being able to get.
This is one of those ones where I was like, I knew you both were going to pick the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
I need some variety. I know I'm going to lose a bunch of fucking DraftKings this year. So
at least you know.
Starting with this Thursday. Oh boy, it's
some pizzazz.
I liked it. No, actually that's an interesting pick. I like the Vikings as a dark horse pick to win that division, even though I picked the Lions to jump ahead of them. That's another tough one. Bears are just terrible. I think we agree. We're all on the Bears being shitty.
One of the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah, definitely. All right, NFC South. You know who I like in this division. Bucks to win it. This one was also not very difficult for me to pick. Saints second, possibly a wild card team. Panthers third. They're going to win a few games, make some games interesting. Falcons, dead last, also really bad. They'll be right up there with the Bears for the worst team in the NFL. How about you, Vital? What you got?
Same as you, bro.
Bucks, Saints, Panthers, Falcons. Lonnie? Do you concur?
For the sake of argument, I'm going to put the Panthers last, but Bucks, Saints, Falcons, Panthers.
Wow, interesting. Okay. And last but certainly not least, NFC West. Got the Rams first, defending champs, 49ers second. This was pretty easy. Again, Cardinals third, Seahawks fourth. No questions, no doubts. If they're all healthy, all things fair, 49ers are going to give the Rams a run, I think. But that's but I don't think they're going to be enough. What about you guys? Vital?
Mine looks the same as yours,
Yep.
but I wish I would have switched it.
Hey, listen, it only helps you switch if you win. So
Yeah, exactly.
if we all get them all right, like you still want to get them all right. All right, cool. Now the playoffs. Ooh. All right. So we're actually very similar in a lot of the division standings, which was the case last year. We didn't have a lot of variation, and we got a lot of them right last year. Also, we did not miss on many of our division winners, at least. But now this year, picking the whole standings will be different. NFC Championship. These are each team is worth 2 points. NFC Championship. Who you got in the championship? Lonnie or Vital, go ahead. Yeah, you first.
I got the Bucks and Packers.
Bucks and Packers. Okay, nice. Yeah. Was that what it was last year or the year before?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the Rams. So 2 years ago, you got okay. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Lonnie, how about you?
I went the same. Bucks, Packers.
Bucks, Packers. Packers really getting back to the NFC Championship game with so many tough teams. Interesting. So you had the Packers getting to the championship game, but not winning their division.
Yep.
Ballsy. Okay. I have the Rams and the Bucks.
Okay, see that.
Yeah. We all have the Bucks back in the NFC Championship game. It's not a stretch. I think the Rams
still
are
loaded up, right?
Yeah, they're still loaded up. But also, that's how I felt about the Rams. I think the Rams are going to be better this year than they were last year. I think Stafford is going to have even more command in that offense. I think he's going to just light it up. I think they're going to be awesome. They're going to dominate. AFC Championship game. I bet we're on the same page on a lot of these. Who you got, Lonnie?
Bills, Chiefs.
Bills, Chiefs. Oh, okay. I got Bills, Chargers. And what about you, Vital?
All right. I have the Chiefs and the Dolphins. Just kidding.
Nice.
The Chiefs and the Bills. Chiefs and the Bills.
Okay, so you guys are both Bills, Chiefs. Interesting. And I'm the only one on the Chargers in the AFC Championship game. All right, good. I like that. That's good. Feel good about that. Super Bowl teams. Who's coming out of these? Lonnie, you go first.
Bills, Packers.
Okay. Vital?
No, not this time. Chiefs, Packers.
Chiefs, Packers, Bills, Packers. I've got Bills, Rams, which is exactly so. I think that the first game of the season is going to be the same as the last game of the season. And I think that's kind of what the NFL wants. That's like the
Sure.
right. They like you always want to see things come full circle. So yeah, I think Bills, Rams, I think it's gonna be a killer Super Bowl. I think it would be an amazing game. Okay, so you guys both have the Chiefs, or wait, no. You guys
Bills,
both
Packers.
you have Bills, Packers. Who do you have, Vital?
Chiefs, Packers. Chiefs, Packers.
Chiefs, Packers. Bills, Packers. So we're both on the Bills. You guys are all right. And then who do you got winning?
Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes takes home his second, right?
Okay. Lonnie?
Bills.
I also have the Bills. Interesting. All right. So between you and me, it's going to come down to, if it comes down to it, it's really the championship, who's in the championship game. Or who's in the Super Bowl. Cool. Yeah. I think it's the Bills' year for sure. I mean, they could have won it all last year. I think this also happened. It almost happened last year. So very close. All right, good. I like it. So send me those when we're done with this, send me those and I'll fill in the contest scores. Now, for the weekly contest scores, let's start it off with what do we got? You want to start with DraftKings for the Bills and Rams game? Who's your? We don't have to go through the whole lineup. Obviously, we'll do the just the captain. Who's your captain this week?
Hanging
I
with
have
Mr. Cooper.
Josh Allen.
You got Josh Allen. What about you, Lonnie?
I'm hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Oh yeah, Cooper Cup. I
Mhm.
also took Cooper Cup. Okay, so we got the same captain. I thought about obviously it's between Cup and Allen. All right, and now for my favorite worst quarterback of the week. I'd rather have Kaepernick than, and I still would rather have Kaepernick than quite a few of these guys. Lonnie, you get first pick because I'm pretty sure you lost last year again. So, who is your worst quarterback for week 1 in fantasy in the NFL? There's quite a few bad ones to pick from.
There's a lot of bad ones.
Which is weird this early in the season. It's like, ugh. This is not a great way to start.
I'm between Gino and Jacoby Brissett.
Okay, those are both very good picks. What are we doing? What do you think?
I think I'm gonna have to go with. Oh boy, I can't trust myself on this. I think I'm gonna have to go with Geno Smith.
Ooh, Geno. All right, Geno Smith going against the Broncos defense, right? Yep. I think that's going to be a bloodbath, that game. That should be, yeah, that's a pretty safe pick. They're going to gobble him up. He might even make it through the game. I don't know. That's
right.
That's really like that's legit. Vital, you get second pick on this. So Geno Smith is off the board. Who you got for worst quarterback week 1?
This is hard. I want to go with Joe Flacco just because I think he's terrible. But then I think Marcus Mariota is just going to get eaten alive by the Saints defense. So I'm going to go with him. I think he's going to throw an interception, might get hurt, something like that.
Oh, man. I mean, I think he's going to be dog shit also, but I think he might scramble, and that might be the difference in what, screws you over. I'm going with the statuesque Jacoby Brissett. I think Jacoby Brissett is not going to do well against the Carolina defense. I think the Carolina defense, from what I've heard, is kind of maybe sneaky good this year. But I think Jacoby Brissett is just going to stand back there and take his medicine. So that's that's what I expect. And then all right, so we're all locked in with some nice bad quarterbacks here. Week 1.
Here we go.
Yours, Lonnie, your pick of Geno Smith though is on the Monday night. So we won't actually know who wins until after that. So we won't be able to make our following week, our week 2 quarterback picks until after the Monday nighter.
Well, but I won't be here on Monday anyway, remember?
Oh, you're not going to be here? No, not this Monday. Next Monday. Kickoff Monday.
Oh, right. Because it's not this weekend. It's next.
No,
weekend.
it's not this weekend.
Right.
The following. The first game is on Thursday. But the next one is, the first Monday night game is your game that you picked.
Right.
All right, and then the last thing, I just want to look at some just interesting week 1 matchups. There's some spicy ones and then some duds. But I just want to look at the schedule and see what you guys think. If there's any games you're excited for. Obviously, Bills Rams, very excited for this game. I think these are going to be 2 of the biggest producing fantasy teams. Like in terms of teams with fantasy relevant players, there's going to be a bunch of Rams and quite a few Bills all the way across the board all season long. But let's see what else we have. Week 1 matchups. You got New Orleans and Atlanta. That was kind of a dud. I don't know. You know what? The interesting thing about that game is going to be our offensive rookies of the year. That's going to be our first look at Drake London and Chris Olave. So that's one thing that is kind of sparking a little bit of interest in that game. Got a couple revenge games. Cleveland, Carolina. Game week 1, Baker Mayfield hosting his Browns. Is that going to be interesting? Does that get your juices flowing at all? A little bit.
A little bit.
I kind of like it. I think Baker's
not going to watch it. but it'll be good.
I'm looking for that. That's actually a pretty fantasy relevant game as well. You got McCaffrey, you've got some, DJ Moore, you've got the running backs for the Browns, Amari Cooper. There's plenty of fantasy relevance there. Possibly even a Browns defense play. I think somebody will probably be throwing that out there as well. And maybe even a Panthers defense play. Actually, I think the Panthers, both of those defenses could have good fantasy weeks, which is not good for the offenses. Niners, Bears, what to watch for in this one?
Trey Lance.
I think Trey Lance, Justin Fields, right? Those two top draft picks, second year, taking over their teams. I like that. First look at both of those guys. And they're going to be compared. I feel like those are the two guys who are going to be compared their entire careers, right? In that class, because those are the guys that were picked very similarly and close in the top. Steelers, Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think?
Yeah, I think it might be a shootout. Get some points.
Yeah. Who did the Steelers name their starting quarterback yet?
I don't believe they did.
Right till the last minute. They probably don't. They're like, it doesn't matter. They're all terrible. That's kind of how I think they're handling that situation. Eagles, Lions. I think it's gonna be a tough game. Definitely an opportunity for the Lions to prove themselves early against a really tough team. Would you guys change your tune at all if the Lions knocked off the Eagles in week 1 on the Lions? Would they start to make you believe a little?
I don't think the Lions are going to be bad. I think the Lions are going to be, a mid-level team this year.
They're a team I think that can beat teams like the Eagles, potentially, and they're playing at home. So it's all going to be about Goff. I think really he's going to be. They have all the pieces around him. If Goff gets back to like his Rams form, the Super Bowl Goff, I think they'll be all right. And I think they're going to work with what he's good at. I think that's part of what they're going to try to do this year. Colts, Texans, little divisional matchup. Yeah, whatever. Those teams are boring. Jonathan Taylor going to run all over the field. That's about it. Patriots, Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, the Dolphins are going to score like 40 points. So you don't want to see that.
It is in Miami. They always do this. They always make the Patriots come down in fucking September when it's stupid hot outside. I can't imagine.
And we got to go play in the cold and miserable in December.
I mean, it's great.
Fair.
That's the best part of it. That's what's great about the NFL. It's what's great about the rivalry. You don't want to play both games in like perfect weather. You want to play both
right
in weather.
You have to be miserable when you go there. Remember why you hate the other team.
Yeah, definitely. Ugh, I don't even want to go. Somebody offered me tickets. I would probably go, but I don't want to. It's gonna be so fucking hot.
That's crazy. We should go.
Ravens, Jets. Kind of a revenge game for Flacco, but not really. Any interest in Ravens, Jets at all?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Jags, Commanders. I'm a little bit intrigued by this game just because one of those teams is going to start out with a win. Like that's interesting, Jags or the Commanders, they're going to start out 1-0. That's a good way to start the season. Giants, Titans. Yeah, it's a dud. Yeah. This one though, Chiefs, Cardinals. That one I'm interested in. That's going to be a shootout. That could be a really high scoring game. I'm excited about that. Kyler Murray looking to prove something. Chiefs new look offense. Do we know what this offense is going to look like without Kyler Murray or without Tyreek Hill? A lot of new pieces there. Oh, and then of course, division that we all want more of. Raiders, Chargers right out of the gate. I like that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Revenge game from Khalil Mack, kind of going back to the Raiders by way of Chicago, obviously. Packers, Vikings, another one right out of the gate. That could obviously have big implications later on. In Minnesota, Bucks, Cowboys. Didn't we start this way last year or was it 2 years ago?
Yes, that was the first game of the year.
First game of the year last year. Yeah. I like that. That one's going to be interesting. That's the night game. I think the Bucks are going to mow them down, though. I don't think it's going to be like it was last year. I just don't think the Cowboys are fully, like you said, not fully healthy yet. And then the Monday nighter, Denver at Seattle. It's kind of a dud, man. Like what? The Monday nighter could have been better.
I mean, that's a good story. because of Russell Wilson, but
I guess, but like the story.
I don't
only
think the
lasts-
game's going to be very good.
Yeah, the story only lasts until the game starts. Like, I feel like they could have. We definitely could have done better on that Monday night game. But again, a revenge game. So interesting. All right. Anything you guys want to say before we get this season started? No.
No,
Yeah.
I'll see you on the other side.
All right, man. Sounds good. Enjoy your trip. Where are you going, Lonnie? You said you're taking off
Savannah.
Savannah. Ooh, Savannah. It's supposed to be nice there. I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
stopped. I think maybe I stopped one afternoon driving through.
Beautiful place.
Pretty, yeah, really pretty. All right, cool. So you're gonna be in Savannah for the better part of a week?
Yep, and then might go to Asheville as well.
Oh, dude, Asheville's awesome. I love Asheville.
Mhm.
Great, man. Killer. Sweet road trip. Good time of year
Yeah.
to do it too. It's gonna be a little bit
Yeah.
cooler up there. Nice. Vitaly, got anything coming up this week?
Nah, nothing this week.
All right.
Chilling.
Nice. Yeah, me too. I don't think I have anything big going on next week. Just getting ready for football. All right. Well, sounds good, guys. Happy football almost. And don't forget, keep an eye on DraftKings before you go out of cell service, just in case somebody goes out, Lonnie. I'll
Gotcha.
try to keep an eye on it for you. But yeah, beginning of the season, hopefully nobody gets hurt. They're going to be probably going pretty easy in practice. All right, guys. Next time I see you will be our first Monday nighter, Monday night kickoff for Denver at Seattle on September 12th. Enjoy your football. I'll talk to you guys
All
soon.
right, guys.
All right.
Good one, guys.
See you soon.
See ya.